But also we get objects donated. Now we have a debate now about a piece of skin. I don't know if we need to have this kind of graphic discussion. But I've always had mixed feelings about showing lynching memorabilia, and actually I'm going to be talking to a group about this, but we have some lynching memorabilia, and my sense has always been, I need to show what I need to show to have the conversation I need to have. I don't need to show that to have the conversation I need to about violence. So that is always my attitude. And pretty much it was always left to me only because I was the founder and the curator, so people kind of deferred to me. But as I decreased my role and plan on doing that, certainly I can see the value of a committee. With it, we have a little part of a person's arm that was taken off, just a part like this, at a lynching. And I did start noticing, first it started with our director, and then with some other faculty members saying that they would appreciate if I would afford them the courtesy of a debate. And so that's what's going on. But I will say this, and we'll let out after one more question. I'm just trying to figure out how to say it. It does not have to be a racist object to go in there. It has to be an object that helps us talk about race. What I've discovered is when people go in the museum, a couple things happen. Some people, in order to deal with the psychological discomfort, find the least offensive object in there, usually some Manny detergent or something. Or they go to some extreme propaganda, for example, Klan memorabilia, because it becomes a way of distancing themselves, saying, that's got nothing to do with me because I'm not in that group. But the best discussions we have are discussions about so-called borderline pieces. Because I think a lot of Americans, if they see the N-word, they know that's wrong, or they think it probably is wrong. But if they look at something that's softly caricatured, and they think to themselves, okay, now what's really wrong with that? Aren't they really like that? Kind of piece. So we certainly need a committee. No, we probably do. All right, one last, yes. I'm going to take questions over at the reception level. Yes, sir.
I'm curious as to what do you think most of what we find in terms of racism is a form of propaganda, economic based, a number of other things. At what age, in order to find a solution, do you think we should be targeting our young people to, and I say this because I brought my daughter to young people.
How you doing? You know about school?
Just got out of school.
Yes.
All right.
I thought we would.
Okay.
But my question is, how do you start to do this? Because when you look at media, be it magazines, cartoons, television in general, those images start in commercials and cartoons and various subtle forms that start to shape the way that kids look at things. In order to get to where pimps and hoe parties are cool or are acceptable, that starts somewhere in the psyche back where it wasn't offensive. So I guess my question is, at what point do you start and how do you start to address that solution?
Okay. The answer to that, and one of the criticisms I've gotten is, why not let children in? I made a mistake with that. I hope you understand, if it was a mistake, what my reasoning was behind it. My sense has always been, we should start talking to our children about difference from the time our children can understand and recognize difference. When my little boy would see someone in a wheelchair, he just wanted to ride. He didn't think anything about the person's intelligence or whatever. He just thought he wanted to ride. With them, not change places with them. So I think we should start talking about differences as soon as they notice differences. But if you're asking me the specific question of when they should go into a place like the one I run, I think they should be older. I think it should not be number one on this journey of understanding. It should be number 42 or something. I don't know if it's just me as a father or what. There's some things, and maybe it's like Siddhartha the Buddha, where you can't keep them in there forever. But I just want it to be gradual. I want it to be built out of a relationship. The understanding built out of a relationship. I want the parents to be involved in that. So I just as well people in junior high and below not be, you know, a facility like mine. But again, that's a personal thing, and as I'm being phased out, you know, they'll make other decisions. But I'll criticize them in the newspapers. And it goes, all right, one, go ahead. Yeah. Well, I chose to receive the Super Bowl, those messages, and that was hyped up. I chose to receive that in a positive way. You know, I think the reason that there hasn't been first before is because there was a lack of opportunity, you know, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. So I chose to receive it in a positive way. But I will tell you this, and then we'll end because I see we're losing a lot of people. When I walked across the stage, and this is difficult sometimes for majority group members to kind of get, I'm not saying you, I'm just talking about life. When I walked across the stage at The Ohio State University to get my degree, I really felt, because I had been trained to feel this way, that that degree was not mine alone. That it was mine as a part of a community. And that I got that degree for every black and red person who was not allowed to go to school. And so when I would tell that story to people who don't carry that, and I don't consider that a burden, I don't consider it baggage, I consider it a community. When I would tell that to people who've been allowed to live as individuals, they wouldn't get that. Yes, absolutely. So in that sense, I told that story to say that when I'm looking at Lovie Smith and Tony Dungy, when I listened to them, I heard them, without saying that, I heard that same thing with them. And I think that they want what you and I want, which is one day soon, where it's not a big deal at all. So, like it is with a black court. Well, thank you very much for inviting me to bring that.
Thank you very much for coming tonight. I just want to remind you, we do have a reception at the Art Gallery, which for those of you who don't know where that is, it's at the Performing Arts Center, the building next door. And we also would like very much for you to give us your evaluation sheets on the way out. We really need to know what you think. Thank you.